So as of the recording of this video, there are currently 2 flights coming directly from Atlanta to Hilton Head on the island here. One in the late morning, early afternoon, noon, 1 o'clock time frame. The other one a little bit later in the afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock time frame. $400 round trip from here to Atlanta and back and forth, basically, if you start in Atlanta and come here. But that's pretty typical, and that's what we've seen. We've flown from here to Louisville, we've flown from here to Atlanta, we've flown from here to Florida. And the ease, because of how small this airport is, the ease of getting on and off a plane is significantly better than, say, like a Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta, or Chicago, or O'Hare, Midway, any of those larger, significantly larger airports, even LAX, we can include in that group. This is very, very different. This, again, very small island, very small airport. And, you can get through security in about 10 minutes. There's hardly ever a wait. Of course, prior to a couple of like these Delta flights and other flights that come in, really affordable, number one, but very, very easy to get in and out of. You don't have to be here 2 hours prior to your, flight or anything like that. It's very, very simple. The other great thing about this airport, in my opinion, is that it is right in the middle of the island. So there's a map view here that will show. So you can see you're 15 minutes from the toe, if you will, or Sea Pines, up to the airport, going either through the 278 on the east, or if you stay to the west and go through the, where the toll road used to be, the old Cross Island, sorry. Just totally escaped me. The Cross Island Parkway, you're 15 minutes from here. And so, it's close enough for convenience, but further away, so you don't have to worry about sound. And, there's very, very limited flights coming in here every day. So if you're out on the beach or, out on the golf course, you're not going to be, bombarded with airplanes constantly coming in. As long as we're here, though, I thought we would just give you a quick little drive around. So this is the main entrance that you come in. Of course, you're bear to the right here. Obviously, plenty of parking for this little airport here. And they've even got expanded parking for the busier seasons here so that you can fly in, get your rental car, or even fly out and have your car here safely placed. There's a ton of policemen here at the moment. Of course, they circulate through on a regular basis, just ensuring that all the cars are safe and there's no nefarious activity going on. But plenty of parking here, not a problem at all. You can actually see, I believe there's a JetBlue plane pulling in at the moment, or no, United. Sorry, my plane vocabulary and recognition is way off since the pandemic has hit here. But anyway, this is the main terminal here, so you just pull right in. Of course, taxis and Uber and everything else here, easily available and accessible to get you here quickly. As I said, about 15 minutes from anywhere on the island or less. You got baggage claim and ground transportation up here at the second stall here, if you will. But you see 3 doors in, 3 doors out. Very, very simple. 2 different gates in here. And I believe there is more talk here for some expansion to have more folks, coming through every single year. And again, the expansion of that runway really made it nice for additional traffic to come in here. But again, not enough that you're going to be bombarded constantly on the tennis court or on the golf course when you're enjoying your vacation, or if you're enjoying your new retirement home, or wherever you might be in life. Just a great opportunity here. Again, the proximity from the airport, with ground transportation all over the island. Again, whether you're spending a week, a month, or the rest of your life here on the island, very accessible, great location to get to Bluffton, of course. Savannah's a phenomenal airport, but because it's 45 minutes from where we are at this moment, it's really just far enough away that it's a bit of a pain. And so, of course, the extension of this runway being the biggest transformation, if you will, of infrastructure coming in has really opened up things. So Savannah's a great airport, and if you're going into Bluffton or somewhere in Jasper County or Beaufort County, you're going to be probably kind of in between the two, which then it might just come down to cost or proximity to getting a ride from the airport to wherever your final destination is. But overall, I think this airport's phenomenal. Again, super small, super easy to get in and out of. and a lot more people now are even commuting. So, you know, if you're working from home, but you do have business trips and flights that you're required to take on a really regular basis, this expansion of this airport has really changed the game for people that want to live here full time, yet still need the convenience to get to a major metropolitan city or area for business. So that really has been a huge win for the island here. So let's say that you're planning a trip to come look at real estate, or you're planning a vacation, something like that, and you land at the airport, you've got your stuff with you, and you're going to spend a week or a month here. You know, if you're going down to the furthest end of the island, down to Sea Pines, like near Harbor Town and all of that stuff down there where a lot of condos and vacation rentals exist, $25, $30 maybe with tip is as much as you're ever going to spend with like a ride sharing program. So I just looked at this very moment, $25.33 will get you from the airport all the way down to Harbor Town on the furthest point of the island. And so that really changes, you know, obviously if you have folks here that can come and pick you up, that's wonderful. But if you don't, and especially depending on your flight and the time you get in and any delays and stuff like that, the opportunity for ground transportation is here. And of course there's rental car agencies all over the island that you can, you know, rent cars from. And, you know, with the last couple of years, rental car rates have shot up substantially. So I would also encourage you to look at Turo for a car sharing app that you can rent someone else's car for a week or a month, or as long as you might need it. That app really has changed the game for car rentals, you know, short-term and long-term. So, you know, you can get cars for as low as $40 or $50 on there. They'll drop them off at the airport for you and leave the keys in a place where you're, you know, safely can get them and stuff. So, you know, just another opportunity. Technology is a wonderful thing and has made life and vacation and everything much better for all of us. So let's talk about a con here. And I know this isn't a pros and cons video, we have a whole nother video for that, but as it relates to ground transportation and driving on the island, there is a lot of traffic on the island. 278 and the Cross Island Parkway are 4-lane highways. So, you know, that really limits the amount of cars that can travel on it. It's a pretty easy 40 to 50 mile an hour drive pretty much anywhere on the island, until you get off onto some of these side streets and into the plantations, of course, where the speed limit's 25 miles an hour. But, you know, if you're going from, say, the northeast side of the island down to Sea Pines, like where the airport is down there, to Sea Pines or Harbor Town for lunch or something like that, it's going to take you 15 to 20 minutes pretty conservatively. And so, you know, we haven't really talked about traffic or commute times, if you will, commute being a relative term, whether you're just going to lunch at Quarterdeck, or you know, you're going down to the Salty Dog, or you're going to Hudson's up on the north side. You know, 15-20 minutes gets you anywhere on the island you want to go. And because of the Cross Island Parkway, now you've got a couple options. So, you know, if you're coming in from Bluffton, but you're going to go down to Sea Pines, you might go the Cross Island Parkway, that again is a four-lane highway, so that you can easily access the north gate, or the gate there at Sea Pines. But you know, just in general, it is limited. 278, again, not in the greatest condition. It's an older highway. Once they completed it and connected it all the way back to 95, you know, that really was, again, another stimulus, if you will, for vehicular traffic onto the island, and people coming and driving from all over the southeast for vacation and for their second home, stuff like that. This really changed the game, but it is not in the greatest condition. I know that a lot of the locals here complain about it, but you know, as more people vacation here, they also see kind of the deterioration of what's happening with 278 here. It definitely needs a revamp, definitely needs an updating. There are potholes and cracks and issues all over the island with 278. The Cross Island's a little bit better, but because they removed the tolls there, you know, there's still some work yet to be done. The final piece that I'd like to talk with you guys about today, and I get a lot of questions about, you know, bike riding and walking and running, and not just from a, you know, physical health standpoint, but certainly from a commute standpoint. If you know, have an island office here, there is the opportunity to be able to walk depending on how close you are. Obviously, most people opt to hop in the car and drive to the office. But you know, I think for a lot of people, the pathways that they have all throughout the island, both for biking as well as for walking and running, are wonderful, and those are really, really well maintained. And you know, if you have a bike and can ride to shopping and restaurants and stuff like that, obviously you're getting a little bit of exercise while you're, you know, commuting and going back and forth. But it's really, really underrated, and there are people constantly, no matter the time of year, on bicycles here. Year-round, there are people on bicycles, though, riding from restaurants to shopping to, you know, different events and stuff. And, you know, if you're newer to the channel here, you probably haven't seen some of the events, the year-round events that happen here, you know, between the RBC Heritage and the Concord Elegance. There are just so many different things going on this island year in and year out, that people really migrate from literally all over the world to come visit the island and to experience those different events. So, but if you're thinking about coming in, you've got options. You've got a ton of options, and you know, getting around the island, even if you don't have transportation here, is actually very, very easy. And then I think the final thing we'll talk about is, you know, maintenance, gasoline, availability, all that type of stuff. Because of course, being a coastal city, you can imagine there's always challenges with pricing and supply. And then when a hurricane comes or a storm event comes, you know, a lot of people are concerned about that. But plenty of gas stations on the island. I've never run out of fuel. I've never had any issues with availability of fuel. Of course, the price is just a little bit higher because getting the fuel here, of course, is more expensive. So, you know, if you're driving into the island, there's plenty of places along 95 there, and of course 278 as you're making your way onto the island, that you can fuel up before or after your trip here. But there are plenty of gas stations. That's never a problem. There's also some great mechanic shops around the island as well, should you find yourself with a flat tire or a leak or something that, you know, as you came onto the island or about to leave for a big trip, you know, if you need service done, there are several dealerships, new dealerships here as well, a wide range of brands and varieties there, just off the island. But definitely plenty of opportunity for that. You should not worry about, am I going to be stuck on the island or around the island, either before leaving for my trip or once I arrive on my trip. And I think that's about it. I think I've covered just about everything. But if you guys have any other questions as it relates to infrastructure, as it relates to transportation, getting on the island, getting off the island, if you have a helicopter and you're worried about landing here at the airport, or you know, getting around the island, that really shouldn't be a concern for you anymore. I really think that the island's done a phenomenal job. The local government's done a fantastic job of making it easy to get on and off the island, and the residents appreciate it. And not only do the residents appreciate it, but now tourists appreciate it, and that really helps people experience all that Hilton Head and the Low Country here in South Carolina has to offer. So if there's something I missed though, a question you have, a comment you have, just leave it down below. I do see and respond to all comments, so if there's anything that I've missed here, please feel free to reach out and I will definitely get that answer for you. But if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That would mean the world to me, and it would also help deliver this content to new folks that are super intentional about moving to the island or even moving away from the island and don't see the value of everything that's going on here. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching again, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.